Hello, BookTube. Well, it's a gray, sleety day here in Boston, as I mentioned last time, it's also the day of the Patriots Parade, so I am very gratefully staying in. I'm very happy that I have the option to just stay where I am and not go anywhere. So many people I know in the area, I'm in email contact with them or texting contact with them, and all morning long, one by one, they have been getting ready and going. And I haven't been happy about it. So I'm happy to be staying here. Later on in the day, I'll be having Muscular Teenage Company over here for calzones and some talk. And then I think maybe later in the evening I'll be having non-muscular company, adult company, for a book talk, which I don't get with my boys. But before all of that, there's mail. The day's morning, the first mail delivery came despite the fact that it's miserable outside. So I thought we'd go through that together, starting with this thing. And I have as you can see, I have an extra copy of The Illuminaries by Eleanor Catton, the #1 BookTube backdrop book in the background. That I got at the Boston Public Library book sale specifically with the idea of doing a giveaway. And I think one of you has already requested it. I was it in the comments field of that video? I'll have to go and check. I'm terrible about that sort of thing. That's why I really feel like I should put my email on every single video, so that if you have anything you want to talk to me about, you can just email me. And that way I'm not missing it, because it happened in the comments field, which I'm supposed to be paying attention to. But I think somebody's already requested that, so it's only there for now, and then off it goes. I'll figure out who it is. Oh, all right, fantastic. This is the paperback of Exit Right by Daniel Oppenheimer, about he selects a group of public intellectuals who started out leftist, with leftist progressive political views, and gradually migrated to the right. Who are the people that he picks? He picks Whittaker Chambers, James Burnham, Ronald Reagan, Norman Potteritz, David Horowitz, and Christopher Hitchens. Now, I admit, when I first got this thing, the Christopher Hitchens part was the part that drew me the most and that worried me the most, because he's still just recently dead. It's as a morbid scientific friend of mine points out, he's been dead so recently that if you dug him up, you could still recognize him. I'm not sure that's true. I'm not sure I want it to be true. I was very happy to see the book. The book got tons and tons of attention because it turned out to be really, really good, really well written. It's really smart. The chapter on Hitchens was the very much the same as the others. I think the chapter on Hitchens turned on an essential misunderstanding of the man. I don't think he had any political leanings ever in his life. I think he was only doing what would be most efficient at getting him attention. But I could be wrong about that. Certainly, this Oppenheimer says that I am. All right, so this comes out in paperback in February. I don't think there's any chance that I have a blurb. I did review it, but so did everybody else in the world. A lot. I reviewed it for Open Letters, so I don't think I would get a blurb, although I really liked it. No, see, this is all big wigs. Okay, all right, good. Wow, that's... I don't know that I have the hardcover still, but I very much want the book, which you wouldn't be able to know, since if I wanted the book, why didn't I keep the hardcover? But let's just move on, shall we? What is this next one? All right, well, a paperback reprint. That's good. Oh. Okay. This is a Penguin Classic. And it's one of the kind of Penguin Classics that I particularly like, where they're not reprinting a work, they're making an anthology of their own. This is Beauty and the Beast. And the subtitle is Classic Tales About Animal Brides and Grooms from Around the World. This is edited by Maria Tatar. Let the fools have their tartar sauce. And it's an original anthology. That's fantastic. This comes out in early March. I will have to see about getting a second copy for Giselle Bradley, or Giselle Rhodes, I should say, since she is BookTube's fairy tale princess. This is certainly a collection she'll want. I'm sure I can get a second copy for her. So let's move on. That's great. So a good paperback reprint and a Penguin Classic. We're doing fine. This is ominous looking. Look at that. Forever On. Mm-hmm. By Rob Reed, a novel of Silicon Valley. This comes out in early May. The definitive novel of today's Silicon Valley. Forever On flash captures, our cultural and technological moment with up-to-the-instant savvy. Meet Flutter, a diabolically addictive new social network, and a villainous heroine, enemy, and or bestie to millions. Flutter has ingested every fact and message ever sent to, from, or about her innumerable users. Her capabilities astound her makers, and they don't even know the tenth of it. But what's the purpose of this stunning creation? Is it a front for something even darker and more powerful than the NSA? A bid to create trillion-dollar market by becoming the Uber X of sex? Or is it a reckless experiment that could spawn a digital equivalent of a middle school mean girl with enough charisma, dirt, and cunning to bend the entire planet to her will? Flutter has it in her to become the greatest gossip, flirt, or matchmaker in history. Or she could cure cancer, bring back Seinfeld, and then start a nuclear war. Wow, those three things are equivalent? Whatever she does, it's not up to us. But a motley band of Silicon Valley entrepreneurs, venture capitalists, and engineers might be able to influence her. And motley is spelled wrong. Okay, that's a shame. Maybe they'll fix that for the finished copy. Well, okay, it's a great big technological cautionary tale that I'm on board for. Absolutely. And what's this? This feels odd. And it's the only one in here that's not... this is FedEx, not UPS. So what is this? It's flopping all over the place. I think there's more than one thing. Oh yeah, there's more than one thing in here. Okay. Oh, fantastic. Oh, aren't you nice? Oh, great. I requested a book from the U.S. Naval Institute, Soldiers and Civilization. The subtitle is How the Profession of Arms Thought and Fought the Modern World into Existence. This is by Reed Robert Bonadonna. And it comes out in the spring, I think. Yes, in mid-May. That's great. They sent it. Look, you've got all the different helmets. They sent it, but they also sent their catalog. How very nice. Fantastic. Of course, I'm going to want everything in here. I'll have to just control myself. I'll restrict myself just to their new releases and hope that doesn't swamp them. All right. So what have we got here? Let's move on here. Boy, we're doing fine so far. Oh, good. Oh, excellent. Okay. So this is a book called How to Be Human by Paula Kokoza. Let's wait for that to focus there. How to Be Human. When Mary Green first spotted him, she was sure he winked at her. A fox. Her fox. With this one gesture, a line of communication opened up between them. In this masterful... Oh, it's a debut. In this masterful debut novel, explores themes of wildness and civilization, loneliness and connection. Utterly original and highly seductive. It's not utterly original, though. Okay. Martin, for instance. But anyway. The novel's origin was mundane enough. Kokoza, who lives in London, was clearing an area in her backyard when she noticed a fox, a common sight in her area. But this fox seemed to believe the land belonged to him, and returned frequently to disrupt the rebuilding efforts. This experience sparked the idea of a character, Mary Green, who becomes obsessed with a fox to whom she feels a deep connection as the rest of her life is unraveling. She's just emerged from a failed long-term relationship and finds herself alone in a now sparsely furnished house. Her job is not going well, and her friendships and relationship with her ex-fiancé, family, and neighbors are increasingly strained. Every time the fox shows up, Mary is further convinced that he's there for her. Odd items appear at her doorstep. Gifts from the fox. Okay. All right, so this comes out in May, and I don't think I'm going to be alone in saying that Believe in the Fox is a much better title than How to Be Human. I know that's just the the phrase on the cover, but it would have been a better title than the boring How to Be Human. But even so, that sounds fascinating. That sounds good for a debut novel. And then we've got, the further down I go, the soggier the packages get, because they were sitting outside. It's very soggy outside. Okay, this is a Harvard University Press book, a work of history, thank God, about time. This is The New Map of Empire, How Britain Imagined America Before Independence, by X. Max Edelson. See that? After the Treaty of Paris ended the 7 Years' War in 1763, British America stretched from Hudson Bay to the Florida Keys, from the Atlantic coast to the Mississippi River, and across new islands in the West Indies. To better rule these vast dominions, Britain set out to map its new territories with unprecedented rigor and precision. The new map of empire pictures the contested geography of British Atlantic world and offers new explanations of the causes and consequences of Britain's imperial ambition in the generation before the American Revolution. Under orders from King George III to reform the colonies, the Board of Trade dispatched surveyors to map far-flung frontiers, chart coastlines in the Gulf of St. Lawrence, sound Florida rivers, parcel tropical islands into plantation tracts, and mark boundaries with indigenous nations across the continental interior. Scaled to military standards of resolution, the maps they produced sought to capture the essential attributes of colonial space. Ooh, and we have a lot of those maps, don't we? Oh my. Okay. Readers will be able to experience the book alongside a companion website, I was hoping someone would say that, containing over 250 detailed maps of the period. Oh boy. So they'll be available in April online. Oh my! So that you while you're reading the book, you can be zooming in close detail to the work these map makers did. Okay, all right, good. All right, so this is that's due in mid-April. There'll be no snow on the ground then. And then this is the last one. This is the end of our little sleety morning mail haul. What is this? Oh, fantastic. Okay, great. Jeez. Okay, I'm going to be sending books to both Chris and Giselle. This is a debut novel. This is a debut fantasy called The Empire's Ghost by Isabel Steiger. And it is... let's see here. The book weaves together the lives of the haves and have-nots fighting to reassemble the remains of a fallen empire. The empire of Elistine once spanned a continent, but its rise heralded the death of magic. It tore itself apart from within, leaving behind a patchwork of kingdoms struggling to rebuild. But when a new dictator, the ambitious and enigmatic Imperator Elgar, seizes power in the old capital and seeks to recreate the empire anew, the other kingdoms have little hope of stopping him. Prince Kelkin of Reglay finds himself at odds with his father in his country's darkest hour. The Marquis of Estrades is unmatched in politics and strategy, but she sits at a staggering military disadvantage. And Isamira, the most powerful of the free countries, has shut itself off from the conflict, thrown into confusion by the disappearance of its crown prince and the ensuing struggle for succession. Everything seems aligned in Elgar's favor, but when he presses a band of insignificant but skilled alley dwellers into his service for a mission of the greatest secrecy, they find an unexpected opportunity to alter the balance of power in the war. Isabella Steiger was born in the city and grew up in the woods. She received her first notebook when she was 8, and she's been filling them up ever since. Good for her. She lives in New York, though her erstwhile companion, a very moody gray cat, has since retired and moved to Florida. This is her first novel. Okay. All right, this comes out in May, so May is going to be a busy month. I don't know if Chris Rhodes is going to get this. If he doesn't, he's welcome to this copy. So there you have it. This is quite a haul. Heavy on the fiction side, but that's all right. So we have The Empire's Ghost, a debut fantasy novel. The New Map of Empire, about the maps of colonial America. Then How to Be Human, about a woman who falls in love with a fox. Then Soldiers and Civilization, about how military trampers have affected mankind. The catalog, which I will pour through. Then Forever On, I gotta admit, this is the most intriguing for me, a gigantic novel about Google. A Penguin classic of animal brides and bridegrooms all throughout human folklore, and the paperback of Exit Right. So that is our sleet-filled morning mail haul, and I'll see you soon, BookTube. We'll have more discussions today. I've got the whole place to myself, and the whole world is empty. so when that happens, I turn to my friends on BookTube. I'll see you soon. Thank you.